You know, most writers don't love editing, and there's a really good reason for that. Editing skills are quite different from writing skills. I often like to equate it to a horse that is wild and free in the writing process, and the editing process is when you bridle and saddle that horse and make it something that other people can enjoy. It's a great idea to have someone else edit your manuscript. But in today's video, I want to talk about when you are editing your own manuscript and how to make that more fun. Well, if you have a book that you need to edit and you're dreading it, here are 5 strategies for making that editing process more fun. I'm a big fan of making it fun. If you're going to dedicate all this time to this, it should be something that you enjoy, and that includes the editing process. So the first strategy that I suggest for making editing more fun is to incorporate your senses to make it more pleasant. So think about the things that you touch. Maybe they need to be soft textures. The things that you smell. Maybe it would be helpful to you to light a candle with an aroma that you like. Maybe it would be helpful to sip a flavored hot tea to enjoy the taste sensation as you are editing. Think about visually, think about what you're listening to. With all 5 senses, you can incorporate things that you enjoy that make it easier and more pleasant to edit your book. The second strategy that may be helpful in editing your book is to gamify the process. So anything that adds a little bit of a challenge and that marks your progress will count here. So you could simply print out or create a paper with enough blocks for each chapter of your book and mark them off as you complete editing. You could do something like a thermometer that marks the percentage of your progress. You could create levels, and each time you achieve a level, you get a reward. Or you could simply do something like set a timer and try to beat the clock. Any of those kinds of challenges and rewards can add to the enjoyment of editing your book. The third strategy for making editing your book more enjoyable would be to balance the intense work of editing with something more free-flowing and creative. Balance the sedentary work of sitting with movement to get you engaged. Balance isolation with connection. So structure your time so that it is much more balanced as you are editing your book. The next strategy is to do only one type of edit at a time. Now, I am finishing up my book on how to edit a book, and I'll have more videos coming in the future around this topic. But the idea is that by dividing the types of editing that you do into separate edits, it means that you can be much more focused on that type of edit, but also less overwhelmed with all the editing at once. In other words, when you go to edit chapter 1, you're not going to look at the fonts and the headings and the stylistic choices as well as the grammar and punctuation choices, because those are 2 really different kinds of edits. I recommend that you edit your book 5 different ways, but in a much more efficient way of editing. So only do one type of edit at a time. And the 5th strategy is a strategy that I learned years ago when I was looking up and reading blogs on how to do a personal writer's retreat. This particular blogger, who I can't remember, so I apologize for not being able to credit you. This blogger suggested including chocolate or whatever snack you enjoy. And I love the idea of it. We know that chocolate has properties that make you feel good. And so by associating that feel-good feeling with editing, it makes it more enjoyable. In addition to that, it actually serves a practical purpose because you're using a lot of brain power when you're editing your book. In fact, your brain uses 20% of your body's energy. So chocolate is a great way to replenish that energy. Well, maybe it would also be helpful to you to plan a getaway or an editing retreat. And if that's something you'd like to learn more about, you might enjoy this video next. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this.